Now let's check in with senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi for your forecast. Chris, we were talking about when we could see these temperatures rise, but in the past 30 minutes, we actually just saw the temperatures drop out at the airport.
Yeah, exactly right here, Jordan. I mean, those temperatures, we are right now probably at the low point in terms of those temperatures from this Arctic outbreak right now, right around 0 degrees. Big old goose egg out at the airport. Meantime, cold weather advisory that runs for the next 2 hours. So here's the good news here, folks. If you're tired of this bitter, biting Arctic cold, we do not have long to go. That said, it is 0 right now out at the airport, but the number that really matters and the colder number, minus 30 wind chill or so in Lyman, which means that frostbite can develop in about 15-20 minutes. Denver, minus 13 wind chill. That means frostbite can set in about 30 to 60 minutes for us here in the metro area. So folks, limit that time outdoors this morning because later on today, we will get above freezing for the first time since 4 p.m. on Monday. So it's been a good 62, 63 hours since we were last above freezing. We'll get there later on today. But then our attention shifts to a significant mountain snowstorm. I'll have more details on that coming up for you in just a couple minutes. But once the thing's over to 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon, who's braving the cold outside. And Courtney, how does that cold feel outside right now there outside our studios?
Hey, good morning, Chris. Yeah, it is cold out here. I've got 3 layers on top. I'm wearing 2 pairs of pants. I got my thick gloves, long down jacket, and I am still a little chilled to the bone here. And we've only been out here for just a few minutes. So if you can escape this cold today, definitely just stay indoors. But there are people out there who cannot escape this cold, and especially workers. Take our airport staff and crews, for example, like ramp workers and baggage handlers. When cold weather hits, they have to dress properly to protect themselves. We talked to United Airlines about their procedures in cold like this. The airline told us its employees wear waterproof outerwear, insulated layers, thermal base layers, slip-resistant shoes, hats, gloves, and neck gaiters. Once temperatures dip below 20 degrees, like this morning, frostbite can start forming on exposed areas of your skin, so it's important to cover them up. We also talked to our 9 News health expert, Dr. Coley. She says it's important to stay hydrated if you're going to be outside. She says in the cold, you're breathing faster and therefore breathing off more water, which can cause dehydration. Cold air and wind can also cause spasms in your airways, which can make us feel short of breath and can even trigger heart attacks and inflammation.
But if you're starting to get numbness or tingling in your fingertips, you're starting to feel dizzy or lightheaded, these are all signs that you perhaps have been outside a little bit too long and you have to go inside.
At this point, I've been standing outside for about 7 or 8 minutes, and I'm starting to feel that tingling in my fingers that Dr. Coley was talking about. So I am going to head back into our car shortly here and blast the heat. One other thing that Dr. Coley told us, if you are on blood pressure medication, you take a diuretic like water pills, you are actually more susceptible to the cold, so you need to take extra precautions. Live in Denver, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Courtney, go warm up. Thank you so much. Now, the city of Denver wants to make sure people aren't cold this weekend. The city and county is extending its cold weather plan and adding capacity starting this Saturday. The city says the Denver Coliseum will stay open around the clock from then until next Thursday. Meantime, single men can head to the Denver Rescue Mission and women can go to the Samaritan House. Both of those shelters are on Lawrence Street. There's also a shelter for kids at Urban Peak on South Acoma Street.
While you hopefully stay warm and stay inside, you can also stay with us to keep you up to speed on everything happening outside. We're going to have extended weather coverage for you on 9 News Plus. Download on your TV, watch for free, and in the meantime, keep it here throughout the morning for the latest on the conditions. Now let's get a check of your traffic with Keely.
All right, thanks. Yeah, traffic is starting to pick up at this 6 o'clock hour. No big problem spots as of yet, but here is a live look from our CDOT cam, I-25 and 58th. Those headlights, southbound traffic heading into downtown Denver, so you can clearly see it is picking up at this early hour. Taking you to the traffic maps, still lots of green out there. Some drive times for you, northwest 270, I-70 to I-25. That's an easy 4-minute commute. We're looking at 11 minutes westbound to I-76, E470 to Commerce City. Not bad there. 14 minutes, that's how long it'll take you westbound I-70, E470 to I-76. We're looking at 16 minutes drive time. Northbound I-25, Castle Rock to I-225. And if you're heading southbound I-225, I-70 to I-25, That's an easy 10-minute commute there. Westbound 36 Denver to Boulder, 16 minutes. And if you're traveling southbound I-25, 144th Ave to I-76, that'll take you about 9 minutes.
All right, Keely, thank you. Breaking news overnight in Munich, Germany, where a car crashed into a crowd, injuring at least 28 people who were part of a union demonstration. We're relying on the Associated Press to gather information, and here's the new information they have gotten this morning. Police in Germany say that the suspect is a 24-year-old Afghan asylum seeker. That person is in custody. This morning, the governor of Bavaria believes that this was an attack. The investigation is ongoing, and we will bring you updates as we learn them.
New this morning, Hamas says it will release the next group of Israeli hostages as planned. This would reportedly resolve a major dispute that threatened the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Hamas also says 3 more Israeli hostages will be freed Saturday. The group previously threatened to delay the next release of hostages. They accused Israel of failing to meet its obligations to allow more aid, including tents, shelters, and medical supplies into the Gaza Strip.
Right now, Mayor Mike Johnston is asking the people of Denver to fund public improvement projects across the city. The mayor's office is calling it the Vibrant Denver Bond Program. They say it would not increase taxes because it would replace other bond payments as those debts are paid off. The bond would be used to pay for projects like parks, libraries, and roads. The mayor's office is asking people to submit ideas through May. They're looking for ones that can be completed within 6 years.
Focus on really shovel-ready projects that are can be transformational and catalytic for neighborhoods all across Denver, but where we can get shovels in the ground quickly, get people to work, help stimulate jobs across the city, and also get these key investments up and rolling.
The mayor's office says that the list of proposed projects will be finalized this summer. Then the city council will decide whether to put the proposed bond on the November ballot. You can find more information about how to submit an idea for a project on the web version of the story at 9news.com.
The wolves from British Columbia that Colorado Parks and Wildlife released in Pitkin and Eagle counties have been here for about a month, and ranchers and local politicians out west are preparing for more help and information. CPW says they are trying to be more communicative than they were during the first wolf release in Grand and Summit counties in December of 2023. But ranchers near release sites say they don't know much about the location of the wolves. A local politician says he didn't know about when or where the wolves were released until after it was over. He said it's leading to distrust of an agency that ranchers have worked well with in the past.
And I've said all along that the secrecy in which it was done, to me, is actually is a bigger issue than the wolves themselves.
CPW says they didn't tell locals about the release until after the animals were on the landscape because they were receiving threats and were concerned for employee safety. We asked CPW what those threats were. They didn't say what the specific threats were, just that there were threats. Today on 9 News at 4, our Ann Herbst takes us to Garfield County to learn more about how year 2 of Colorado's wolf reintroduction is going.
Well, the main weather impact, the main reason we have a weather impact alert for this morning, dangerously cold temperatures and especially the wind chills. This is the number that you feel as you step outside. When you're talking about wind chills in that minus 20, minus 10 range, that means you're talking about frostbite that can develop within about half an hour of on any exposed skin. So folks, limit that time outdoors this morning. It will get warmer later on today, but it's a pretty active forecast. Details on that for you in just a couple minutes.